Hi everyone, my name is John Kenny.
And my name is Taiwo Oyemade.
Yep. And we are the so-called gospel enthusiastic twins.
Gospelers.
Gospelers. Those are even me.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're back today, and thank you so much for watching our last show. Thank you so much for the feedback and the comments. Thank you so much.
Even though we wish that you left more comments, yeah, we'd like to hear from you.
Yep.
We'd like to hear from you. If you had that, we will even bring you into this room with us. But hey,
to have that kind of audience live show kind of feel.
Yeah,
it would be very, very cool, right?
We even wish that you take over the microphone and speak.
And speak while we listen, something like that. All right, let's jump in. Today is going to be really interesting. We have the great conversations that we're going to have in the next few moments. It's going to be really interesting. Last time I remember that I was speaking about the internet and some of the impacts of the internet on the Christian faith
and our perception of the gospel.
On our perception of the gospel, yep.
And we touched a lot of sensitive issues.
Yeah. I think they were quite interesting, right? Things we spoke about.
Interesting? No. Important? Yes.
Okay, so let's continue from there. We're going to touch a little bit, and then we're going to continue into other things.
Okay.
So speaking more about the internet and the impact on the Christian faith, there's this sense that because we are all on the internet, because somebody in Maiduguri and somebody in Lagos can be having a chat and be having a conversation, the tendency for someone to assume that that's all that there is for the Christian faith. I was in a meeting a few weeks ago, and they were mentioning some denominations in the north that had so many branches, and I had never heard the name of these churches before. And I think it confers a sense of humility on you, like, you don't really know the church, you don't have ideas, because you see some few persons on social media, and because they're popular, you just assume that I know the church. What do you think?
Even those who know the church don't know the church.
Interesting.
And this is not to say, you just admitted that you did not even know some ministries.
They mentioned like 2 or 3, and they said that they had a lot of branches in North. I'm like,
so
I only know Ekwa.
So maybe benefit of the fact that I schooled in the North Central Nigeria, and I got the chance to visit a number of core northern states. I can say that I know a bit more than you. But even that, I still don't know enough. You're even talking about the core north.
What about the southeast? Southeast.
The southeast.
I was in southeast. I did my NYC in southeast, and I got there and I found churches.
I walked into a certain church. I cannot mention the name here. When I was in the south, or when I was in the village, on the creeks, because they had Christ on top of it, I was so sure there was.
So you went to school in the north. You went to serve in the creeks. Well, I think you should go and find a church somewhere in the Adamawa Hills.
Come and carry me now.
I think Cameroon border.
Come and carry me now.
Is that enough to find church in Lagos, right? Only God knows what's going to be like in those parts.
We God help you.
Amen.
So, I walked into the church, and me and my friend Samuel, we walked into the church together.
Yep.
And it didn't take long before we realized that something is wrong.
What are you doing here?
The guy pulled out a board, like a white marker board, and started asking us certain questions. We didn't even know it was baiting us. Like I said, me and my friend were in this church.
Okay.
And then the guy pulls out a white marker board and tries to prove to us that their church is the only church.
I'm already enjoying this gist.
And started telling us that trying to trace their church history as far back as the 1st century, just a few something years after Jesus Christ died, or 30 something years. The details are sketchy, because in that room I already zoned out.
Like that the only legit church.
On earth. And that they don't know what Jesus is coming
like
for.
The true church.
So
I like that.
It went on and on and on.
I like that.
Maybe courtesy don't allow me just stand up and get out, because I wasn't sure I knew. It was just such a shocking experience for me. But I can tell you that they're not even the only one. There are a lot of other organizations like that, especially in the South, that we've not even heard anything about.
And they're actively doing a lot of Christian work.
No, see, wait.
No. Okay, there's a class of people.
I said organizations that we've never heard about.
Okay.
That are affiliated with the Christian faith.
Yeah.
That that these ones are just extreme.
True.
But there are now a lot of other great work being done across the country.
There's an impression one can have.
Not even the rural areas first. even in the cities of Nigeria.
What's that thing that happens when you are caught into a certain kind of bubble online, where
Yeah, it's a cocoon.
yeah. So
I mean, a lot of people don't even know that they're in a cocoon.
and it can give you that impression that we're the only ones that are Christians.
You know, I heard this concept. I can't remember. Maybe I think it was on CNN back like maybe almost like 10 years, 10 years ago, when I first started working, and I was sitting in front of a TV, and the analyst was talking about how many people are caught up in a bubble, in a cocoon of some sort on social media. That it's only content that is coming from their friends or brands that are targeting them that they are seeing, and that defines their reality. All their opinion is based on this
Taiwo, I think
small space.
I think that tendency is higher if one gets converted in an organization that is quite large.
Yeah,
and
an
then
elaborate
so
denomination.
There's a tendency for you to only attend meetings that are happening. I mean, we have absolutely no problems with somebody. If your organization is so richly structured, or most of the things you need to be a great Christian can actually be available in that system.
And it's not a function of size.
Yes, it's not size too. Yeah,
it's a function of the exposure of the core leadership.
But we have been privileged to have been blessed, and our Christian faith and convictions have been formed because of our interaction, not just with one ministry.
I mean, with several ministries, the good, the great, and the questionable. Yeah. So I mean, that's and true that the Holy Spirit has constantly done a work in us to help us establish what is really true, which is the work
gospel.
of discernment.
Which is gospel.
That's part of the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
At work. So if you're not careful, you think that what is being fed to you on social media is what it is, whereas it's not true.
I mean, sometimes I see some debates going on social media, and in my own local setting, I'm talking, and out of 10 persons, almost 8 persons have not even heard that conversation is even going on. And then that impression you have, that's constant uneasiness you feel because you saw a certain trending topic on Twitter, and you create an impression that that's what is going on in every church. You are mostly wrong. Everybody has not heard about it.
Let me tell you one that shocked me recently. I've not been to Europe or America.
Yep.
But I've been to a number of African countries.
Yep.
And let me
and top of my mind now, I think it's a country we need to visit. Morocco. Even though I don't know what I'm going to do there. I only saw an email of
social media
of the site. Social media.
Already feeding you.
Social media.
I want
to go to Morocco. But they have fine trains and really nice deserts there. Quite
nice. Is there anything nice about deserts? but like I was saying, like let me tell you something I soon figured out.
Okay.
One time I was in Kenya, I figured out that a lot of people in Lagos, Nigeria, and most of Nigeria have been to America and London.
I've never been to African
many
countries.
parts of Europe. They've not even been to
Benin Republic. Or Ghana.
In fact, some of the Ghanaians that we met thought that Ghana was just beside Nigeria.
there's Benin Republic.
They call Nigeria a neighbor. Like we're not neighbors.
There are two countries in between
us.
You get to Ghana.
So, but that's how your reality can be shaped by where you have been to. Guess what? More people in Lagos know about realities of things happening in America and in Europe
than in Africa.
Than
in Nigeria.
Than in other parts of southwestern Nigeria.
Not even the north.
So, do you know what I'm saying? It's just because their activities just from here to London, from here to America, from here to even as far as Australia.
And their interests drive what social media brings to
China.
them.
That's the thing. So I began to talk to Christians in Kenya, for example, or Christians from Ethiopia, or Christians from South Africa, and I began to realize that
their worldview.
In fact, let me give you an example. I was talking to some Christians from South Africa.
Yep.
And I think there's a country close, maybe Gambia, I'm not sure. I'll have to check the map. And I realized that their reality, their faith, is being so greatly influenced by the post-apartheid realities. You understand what I'm saying?
Clearly,
some of these countries are being owned, majority of land, majority of property is being
foreigners.
Owned by not necessarily foreigners.
They're
not even foreigners. Let me give you an example. I spoke to a white fellow who is from South Africa, and he said that people keep saying that they are outsiders. That do you know that they are first people settled in South Africa about 400 years ago?
So look at me using the word foreigners. People have
That's
been
how
around
social
for
media,
400 years.
and you're saying somebody is a foreigner.
And is a foreigner.
400 years is not.
How many generations?
400 years is not even. You're not talking about 2-3 generations.
All they know is that they are South Africans. They don't even know. They've not been to Holland or anywhere else.
And this fellow says, I'm South African. I'm not from any other place. My family is, my great grandfather is South African.
So that person shows up in Nigeria and expects me to treat him like an African.
But I treat him
But
like
because
before,
he's white skinned, I treat him like an American or
I brought this
British.
up because as soon as in a hotel room, I went on TikTok and all the content I saw was from Kenya. And from Uganda.
That cocoon effect.
From countries that are close by. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In fact, I know that if you get a Kenyan visa, there are like 4 other countries around that cluster that you might not have to get a visa to enter into. And content is being fed to me. I was struggling to find Nigerian content.
Wow.
I had to go on Twitter and search for certain tags to be able to feed myself with Nigerian content. Everything was just, I went on TV, it was Kenyan content.
This is truly humbling, yeah.
So
it's
humbling because it forms your understanding.
And I think
it takes going to YouTube to go and watch any channel to be able to see what's going on.
So that is what the internet should be for us. Many of us are not going to be able to interact with other Christians beyond our local assembly.
No.
Almost all our lives.
Yeah.
But what the internet should be for us is that sometimes just pick up your TikTok and just type Christianity in Gambia or Christianity in Zimbabwe, Christianity in Sierra Leone.
Kaduna.
Or okay, that's African countries. In Kaduna. Okay, let's go a bit lighter. Speaking of humbling, I strongly feel that the northern Christians are proud. I've put it out there. Do what I want to do with it.
Wow.
Okay, let me tell you why. Calm down before anybody comes for me.
I say wow.
Before anybody comes for me.
I'm planning to come for you actually. No. Don't say anybody. I'm planning to come for you.
I use proud, not proud to mean that they are proud. What I meant to say is that you know the sense you catch when you're talking to a northern Christian that you tend to think like they have this superiority complex.
And you begin to feel inferior.
Feel inferior, like they have this mindset that we are the ones that are being persecuted. They are persecuting us too. So you and I can tell stories of what it felt like for us when we converted to Christianity.
Wait now. I mean, see, you can talk like this because you've not spent considerable time in the north.
In the north, okay.
I
you have more experience.
I can say for free.
Okay, it's your floor.
I can say for free that I spent at least between 5 to 6 years.
Okay.
In the north. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it was not 5 to 6 years of me being
not what state? What state? Mention the states.
In Niger State.
Niger State. All right.
And somebody can do it and say that's not the north. Now you know. You can say it's not the north. Now you know. Those were getting kidnapped. They did not think they were not in the north. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but right there, coming from Lagos, I spent the first year feeling inferior.
Because when they speak about their convictions, now we're going to get to the part where it seems as though the discipleship system in those parts, or there's a huge sense of discipleship going on compared to the reason why
Southwest. I'm going to push back slightly about that.
It's a sense
outlandish opinion.
Okay. I mean, of course,
so I'll push back because I was there.
Okay.
And I can share a lot of the sentiments that they share.
Okay.
After 1 or 2 years, I began to become that guy who had a different understanding of the Christian faith than average person.
Okay.
I mean, I remember during the times when there was some terrorist attack, for example, in Suleja.
Yeah.
I remember
Abuja.
which was just about less than 2 hours away from where we were.
Yeah.
I was an usher in the church, and I remember that I had to. My duty in the church is to stand on the fence.
On the fence.
Not by the fence. I had to walk back and forth
and be on the lookout.
Looking out for anybody dropping a nylon bag.
Wow.
We had policemen in our meetings.
Wow.
Just watching out for us.
Wow.
Let me even go out. Let me tell you a little more. At some point, we had a sack somewhere in the church full of stones, just in case we were attacked.
In case of incasity, like my friends would say.
So I can feel I can feel the sense of superiority might be an extreme thing.
Yeah, but what
humanity has a tendency of spinning anything out of anything.
Yep, I agree.
Do you understand what I'm saying? An idol can come out of anything.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And people have to watch themselves.
Yes,
so they don't come across as proud.
Watch their tone, watch their disposition.
Yeah, disposition. So, and even then, I shared a sentiment at some point like
when you came back to Lagos,
you guys in
you
Lagos,
started
you don't understand.
viewing us funny. You started feeling like you guys
You
don't
guys don't
understand
understand
what's going
what it means to be a Christian. And people are going through serious stuff. I remember one particular Christmas like that. I decided not to come to Lagos for Christmas. I spent Christmas, and then on the radio somewhere, news broke out that Christians should watch out because Boko Haram had made a declaration that nobody should go to church. There was a particular church in town, I can't mention the church's name, very massive church that I used to visit once in a while. That Sunday was empty.
Okay, so I see. I mean, I see why it seems like that.
So I just wanted to help you paint the picture. And you see that kind of thing that many people don't even know. People are facing some of these realities in the same country with them, where they are taking church for granted. You don't understand that kind of place. That kind of place, you don't. In Lagos, for example, now you're saying I don't go to church. In some places, it's a privilege in this same country for church to open for you to attend.
Wow.
But then, why would anybody want to be proud?
True. By the way, have you noticed that songs done in Hausa seems to be real? They have this.
So
they
now,
impose this sense of depth on you.
Now the rubber is hitting the road.
I mean, there's this amazing worship leader that I follow. His name is K Strings.
Yeah, I've seen his videos on YouTube.
That guy, man. I mean, when he sings and when he renders his songs and when the songs the lyrics are translated, it kind of dwarfs our own songwriting.
Case is even far.
Okay,
remember your experience with Pastor Chris Delvan?
So
back in University of Lagos.
that year when he came to campus, yes. I mean, I'd heard a lot about him.
You couldn't stop talking about it.
I listened to his songs, and then he came in person. And it means that in that vigil for almost 4 hours.
Lockdown.
We were held spellbound. And I remember that night. I tell people that I can trace the kind of grace that I trust that the Lord is already manifesting in my life, and that He will even yet manifest more. To that night, to that meeting, because as I listened and as I participated in His ministration, watched Him minister to us, I begged God all through that time that Lord, give me this kind of grace. That His prophetic grace is on another level.
Yeah,
the ability to explain Christ clearly and alongside the music,
and the music just sounds differently. It just hits differently.
It hits differently. So sometimes I can't deny. I testify to the fact that when a Hausa gospel song comes on air, I have to pause like.
Did you remember this guy back in the day? Jeremiah Gang.
Do you know? I follow him on Facebook. Do you know how much work he's still doing today?
Are you serious?
Till today, I don't even know much about him. Turn the mic to us.
As in, like, I don't even know much about him.
Till today, he's still hosting concerts.
Wow.
A lot is happening in the north.
And you see what we're talking about. So, about how social media can create a cocoon around you. And you're not going to know that other people are doing great stuff.
A lot of work. Yeah, a lot of work.
In fact, even for social media, a lot of ministers we know very, very well today that are very popular, especially from the middle belt and zone of Nigeria. We will not even know they exist.
I mean, it's not to deny the great thing that God is doing here in the southwest of Nigeria.
Wait, before you go on.
And the level of exports.
No, before you go on. The Christian faith is the southwest.
Tell them. That's what I've been waiting for since. Tell them at least. I
just stabbed into your narrative straight up. Like,
should I mention names?
No, I mean, like, no.
Should I name names?
No, come on.
Should I name names?
Come on now.
I can name names.
No, calm down. Be calming down. But guess what? A lot of the top names too that you see in Lagos and Southwest, they were one time in the north.
Let's not go there. All right, let's just move on.
So I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm playing both sides. I'm four and four at the same time.
What I think is that against all the popular controversies and all the noise that social media is generating, there's still a lot of amazing content, amazing blessing that you can receive from being intentional enough to search for the right content.
Yes.
I have another point to make.
Okay.
So what's going on, Taiwo? What's going on? To what do we attribute this dearth, Dearth, this dearth of Christian music, gospel concerts in Lagos? Concerts are not happening the way they used to. I mean, talk to me. Have you noticed that back then, before you scroll on Facebook, this person's hosting a concert, that person's hosting a concert. And then today, we have to wait till like December.
So wait.
Before we see any action. What's going on?
Wait. We can talk about other people.
Okay, let's talk about us.
What about us? 10 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, we used to have stuff happening every time.
Every now and then.
Let me tell you this first thing. I think a lot of people have grown up.
What do you mean? Grown up? Like, they outgrew?
No, they didn't outgrow.
Okay, talk to me.
You see, you let me tell you, our generation, compared to the generation afterwards, and compared to the generation that was before us, it sort of seems like there's a gradual decline in excitement about people getting their hands on the work.
Are you sure it's not related mostly to costs?
So I'm not saying that there's no activity.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying that the number of people willing to expend resources
in that direction.
A lot of people have even left Nigeria.
Okay. The
Jackpot has happened.
Do you
understand what I'm saying?
It's still active.
And it's affecting practically every ministry.
Everything.
Around.
The hands
are available for the work.
Yeah.
So, I mean, ask yourself, where are the people on the local cronies? The what cronies, is it correct?
Krooners.
Where are they?
The Honorarium Krooners. I think they're mostly overseas.
Did you get what I'm saying? So a lot of people that were in generation before us have moved overseas. A lot of people in our generation too have moved overseas. So if you're going to see those activities,
we're going to wait for the younger guys to grow up. Yeah.
And because a lot of people in generation too have one time to family life.
So
and all the resources we used to throw at programs, we are realizing that, man, there are bills to be paid.
So don't you
and
think,
bills are not getting cheaper.
Speaking of bills, so don't you think it's high time we face this conversation about gate feed gospel music concerts? Now someone says the gospel is free. Okay, I get it.
I mean, our opinion might also be subjective.
Subjective.
No, there's still more happening.
On this show, if you want to give you a rundown of what it means to host a concert, to host a concert today, if you don't have a lot of things and you want to rent a venue cost, logistics cost, sound, lighting, even the cost for rehearsals, the team you want to work with, all their costs. And before now, I mean, the ease with which churches were even releasing their venues for concerts has declined. You know why? Because now there is even more regulations. As church planters that we are, we know that the state does not even entertain noise pollution as it used to be. And so most churches are not even soundproof.
And fuel is more expensive.
Okay, talking about fuel, there's no power, so if you want to run a diesel generator or petrol generator for the next 4 or 5 hours to set up, to do everything.
Then there's another factor that Bible mentioned.
Okay.
People are doing a lot of stuff online.
So most people are even having nice experiences
in fact,
online.
What you will find is that most people that end up doing anything offline
are people who have
already generated a lot of followership online.
Because before now, for you to experience a concert or experience music, you have to go to an offline meeting. You have to go to a concert. Someone has to host something.
I mean, between COVID and now, far more people are finding it more comfortable to just click and watch a Hallelujah challenge.
I mean, that's a prayer meeting, not a concert, though. They're all singing inside, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure I know the difference.
Okay.
There's a lot of singing going on.
Yeah. So, and that's not the embassy. That's Pastor Nat.
Even though they do physical meetings,
but that's Pastor Nat. That's the
physical meeting.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of online meetings.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Far more people are realizing that maybe offline might not be the first place to go. Let me do online first.
And if you don't want to use a venue that's not a church, if you want to rent a venue, Jesus Christ.
All are now
Jesus Christ.
I don't want to talk about it.
All are not even confident with sound. So you have to also rent sound.
They don't even have any air conditioning.
No air conditioning. Jesus Christ.
Some of them have to bring your own generator to even make it work.
So most people are not okay. Now we see clearly now.
But be that as it may, the conversation about people paying for Christian concerts.
Yes, let's talk about that.
I mean, it's a very touchy issue. Because of where we are. it's not a touchy issue. In fact, as far back as over a decade ago,
Yes.
we have known how much people paid for a Hillsong concert.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
there's Hillsong in church.
Yes.
But if you want to see Hillsong
On a
beyond
tour.
their Sunday mornings
On a
meetings,
tour.
it's not free. Okay.
it's not free. So and that's clear because they're signed by record labels.
I mean, Kirk Franklin has been charging gate fees for. I mean, because yes, there's management to it, there's costs.
So
there's yeah.
Again, a lot of things are possible because of certain societal culture, societal ideology. I'll give you an example. I was in a movie recently and I saw that in Germany during the World War, even though Germany was in the heat of the World War, everybody was technically fighting against them. The generals, the colonels,
They were still attending concerts.
were still attending
recitals.
operas.
Operas.
Because it's cultural.
And the artists were still performing
For
during
them,
the war.
During the war. Do you get my point?
Because art is a big deal, right?
No, it's not just art. Art is a fundamental part of
The economy.
their societal fabric. Economy is even a long shot. It's cultural.
So people listen to music
The same way-
because it's like a religion for them.
So same way people were paying premium for art that is being drawn. It's the same way they are paying premium to sit down at a prime seat at an orchestra.
Now, the narrative, often, I've been to a lot of Christian seminars and meetings or pro-Christian meetings, and then speakers have come to say that maybe the reason why there's not much patronage in the Christian music space is because of the quality. And I've often disagreed. I've often disagreed that is not true. It is not true. It's not true. It's not true.
I might not appreciate certain kinds of music.
It's not true.
When I say appreciate it, I might not appreciate certain kind of like I might not be a fan. I have a leaning towards Christian contemporary music.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Personally.
Yeah.
So I might not appreciate certain kind of music, not because they're not good music, but the kind of quality of
that we
work
have seen in the last 10 years
that people are putting into music work. It's not. Don't even go near. I mean, when experience came, that's when we realized that people are not playing.
They're not playing.
I've attended experience at least twice. Yeah, I think twice. People are not playing. The quality of music you get there, the quality of performance.
Yeah. If that's what you want to talk about,
it's not a joke. So nobody should start that blanket statement of it's not good quality. No, our challenge fundamentally is the tradition of the church itself.
People are always awkward to talk about money,
which is greatly influenced also by the sociocultural reality. That's why I brought it up. Like even in a place like Germany, music is cultural. So even in the heat of a war, people are still finding opportunity to go to an opera, to go and listen and pay for music.
So is that culture that is affecting us even in the area of sports too, as a people?
So even as a people, I grew up exposed to a lot of Fuji music. My dad was a fan of Akpala and Fuji music. And I know that a lot of the records that we play on the gramophone were shows that people like Juju music, like musicians like King Sunny Ade was doing on tour in Europe and America, and people were paying for those shows.
Yes, they were paying.
CQ Ayinde Barrister was on tour. People were paying in some countries, and the recordings, someone said it as tapes here, and the only place they get paid in our country was maybe at a funeral or at a naming ceremony, and you will hear them singing it in those recordings, not low live performances. So naturally, people expect it to be free.
That's a problem. You know, that movie that's like a documentary about Spotify. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
And the guy was, and that music record label executive was saying he doesn't want to hear it. If you come near him with a talk about free music, he doesn't want to hear it.
Because culturally, it doesn't make sense. Economically, the industry around music, it doesn't make any sense for any music. Not even,
see, I find myself.
Don't even say gospel. Someone say gospel music should be free.
Yeah, because what I'm about to say now is that the dearth of concerts is not affecting only gospel music. It's not as if there are concerts to happen frequently too in the secular music space. Now, I find myself having to interview you. Just bear with me.
Yeah, I'm listening
now,
to you.
The question now is, do you think honorariums or the excessive dependence on honorariums has contributed to the to the state of the Christian music. Let me use the word industry conveniently.
So it's not only the Christian music.
Okay.
Even pastoring. Do you know that a lot of people go into ministry believing God for him to take care of their needs, and their fundamental means is honorarium? They thought when we were growing up, some people indirectly or directly vilified the idea of getting paid as a pastor full time.
Chai. Pastor, even with clear scriptures like 1 Corinthians 9.
And you see, yeah, exactly. And you see, music is on the scale of importance. Music is not as important as
of course, definitely. It can never even.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Even though for some reason those who are singing are giving far more honorarium,
of course, that's
than
true.
guys that preach.
Yes.
In a program, you go for a program, you know that they paid that musician about 2 million and they gave you 50,000 naira transport fare.
You that will speak for 2 hours for 2 sessions.
So
they will give you. They will package 200K for you, and the person that came to sing for 15 minutes before he came, they have begged and negotiated
200,000
naira. That must be a very big church, right?
Hey God, if you see churches that give you around 200,000 naira, you know.
I can't process how a church of about 100 is negotiating to pay 500,000. As in, with beg.
Yes, with beg. And the person that come and prophesy,
and the person that preached
revelation, everything
through a 2-day conference.
But you see,
the council cannot even agree on 500K. They will fight.
But you see, that one, all that is not even the core matter.
Okay.
The core matter we're talking about here is that I brought that up to show you that the idea of people getting paid
is even
in anything that concerns the gospel is a fundamental problem.
I think it affected us too.
And let me be sincere with you. Those who are propagating this idea the most are getting paid.
Chai. Let's read a passage. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 11. It says, before then it talks about do not muzzle the ox while it's treading out the corn.
Yeah.
For a laborer is worthy of his reward.
Yeah.
Verse 11 now says, since we have planted spiritual seed among you, aren't we entitled, that's the word that Apostle Paul used, to a harvest of physical food and drink? If you support others who preach to you, shouldn't we have an even greater right to be supported?
Okay.
But we have never used this right. We would rather put up with anything than be an obstacle to the good news, to the gospel about Christ. Verse 13. Don't you realize that those who work in the temple get their meals from the offerings brought to the temple, and those who serve at the altar get a share of the sacrificial offerings? In the same way, verse 14 now, the Lord ordered that those who preach the good news, aka the gospel, should be supported by those who benefit from it.
The Lord ordered
that those who, let me read again. Maybe someone didn't get it right. I'm reading 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 14. In the same way, the Lord ordered that those who preach the good news should be supported by those who benefit from it. So whether it's the good news in preachings or the good news in music.
Let me say with you, I'm not here for advocacy to pay.
That's not why we're here. That's not why we're here.
But I sometimes I think that we need to be sincere with ourselves and ask certain critical questions.
Okay.
How did we get to this point where the idea of getting paid for anything that has to do with the gospel
became awkward?
Number one, churches were growing very fast, and there was not enough resources to that end. So even many missionaries that were being sent barely had enough to take care of themselves. So the first thing they had to do was to find volunteers who work as volunteers. And part of the narrative that many of them unknowingly did not realize was going to used was to say, this is God's work.
Do it as unto the Lord.
As unto the Lord.
Don't expect anything in return. I mean, Paul did not collect anything, so you should not collect.
So that's where I can tell you for free. That's where that idea came to get. It became a problem for me when I began to get exposed to what it takes to create. I keep using Hillsong, even though there are other bands like Jesus Culture, Better Music and Co. Again, a lot of things are
elevation worship.
A lot of things are subjective.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But I began to ask a question. I will watch Hillsong live in Miami, for example, and I will count on YouTube, and I'll count up to 10 cameras running in the room.
Me, I'm looking at the consoles, digital.
Front
of house.
I'm talking about cameras because that's what concerns me.
I'm looking at the stage area, the kind of gear, as an up-to-date gear.
Not only camera and lens, and operators. Then the space itself.
The space, Jesus.
Do you understand what I'm saying? The lighting, the lighting.
enough to record and produce for me to be engaged.
I watched the behind the scenes of Jesus Culture Unstoppable Love.
Don't watch it.
No, I watched the behind the scenes.
Please, don't watch it.
And I saw
your heart. You'll be thinking,
hundreds of lights in that space.
Pastor, the rack room, the combo. I was watching it because I watched a lot of backstage videos of Bethel of those songs. There was a room at the back of the stage where they put all the combos because they don't display them on the stage anymore.
Okay.
Because the combos are mic'd. Orange, all these Marshall stacked combos. Jesus Christ.
So there's a guy on Digico front of house.
There's a guy on the stage.
On the stage.
Pastor, remember the year Marcus Smith came to Covenant?
I remember. So we were sitting back behind the stage.
And there was an engineer on the stage. That was there. I realized that, okay, wait, there's an engineer with them on the stage.
Running around
with them.
Wires and everything.
Doing stuff.
I remember when the power thing happened.
And the keyboard, the motif blew out. Yeah.
So these things.
By the way, that day was amazing. It was really inspiring.
I don't know why Pastor Kojo has not brought him back.
I mean,
I don't know.
Watching Michael Smith that day was.
I say I don't know.
It was inspiring.
I say I don't know, even though I am.
You know now.
But then again,
you don't know me.
Then again, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's relative nowadays.
God bless them. God bless their efforts.
But thank God they did, because me and you told ourselves that if anybody ever brought Hillsong or Michael Smith
that will be in front
or Matt Redman,
that day we left work and we were running down. We sat down very close to the side of the stage. It was awesome.
No. I can't forget that experience. Awesome. I can't forget that experience. And thank God for.
Of course, thank God that Christian Acts too in Nigeria are beginning to give such experiences.
So now, back to my point.
Yep.
I asked a question. What is inspiring me about this video I'm watching?
Is it only the anointing?
Clearly, they were anointed.
Of course.
They are anointed.
They are, not they were. They are anointed.
The quality of lyrics they were writing.
Yeah.
I just stripped it down to the last.
Yes.
Like, what's the most important thing? What's the most basic thing about this experience?
I'm excited now that you're talking about
it. Is the lyrics. Yes. Forget about everything else.
Yeah.
They could put a mic in front of them and a guitar and sing the same song
and sound great,
and it will still sound good and bless us,
like a one body music song too.
Yeah. So that for me is not even
I had to put that
question
so I can know.
But what was it about the experience of what I was watching on YouTube on maybe 720p? It wasn't even full HD. It was 720p high definition that we were able to watch on that. And
sometimes it was 5 years or 6 years later that we saw it.
That we saw the videos. If you go and see watch those videos 10 years later, you are still getting goosebumps from those experiences. What was it about it that got it halfway from Australia, where the song is based, or from Miami in America, where they are using some of those spaces, all the way to Africa, and it's inspiring me? It's the amount of production work that went into
and
it.
Production is sitting on top, cost is sitting behind it.
So sincerely, it could not have been free.
I mean, I've listened to interviews by the guys in Hillsong, and they trying to justify sometimes why they are even charging a fee. I don't
know why they're trying to justify it.
And they're even saying that a lot of the fees that they even charge, sometimes all it covers is maybe the cost of renting the equipment.
Now,
not even the cost of the venue.
Now, I sat down one day in particular church.
That means there's still a lot of subsidy.
I sat down one day in a church I used to serve in, and there was a heated debate about whether or not they should pay instrumentalists.
Okay. Why are we here now? Okay, let's go on.
So
it's gospel gist, right? So
for me, let me be sincere with you. I'm not for or against.
Okay.
I have a different realistic with which I look at this matter.
Okay.
I will never subscribe to a feeling of entitlement.
Never ever. That's the caveat.
On any platform, you cannot come and demand anything and say it's my right. No, nobody has forced you to be here.
You claim God called you.
Whether it is the church or is the instrumentalist.
Yes.
There's no entitlement anywhere.
Yes.
You cannot bring a hammer down and say, this is what God's work. Don't charge anything.
We didn't catch a sense from what Paul was saying.
You cannot do that.
Yeah.
Also, the instrumentalists cannot start and say, without me. No, don't start that. The gospel can be preached without music.
The gospel has been preached for many years.
It can be preached.
It's been preached in many parts of the world without great music.
The music can even be done without instruments.
Oh.
I have been in a church where there was no instruments and we sang. I told you now, we went to a particular church in Nairobi. There was only a keyboard. And they sang 6 songs all to the service.
And it was amazing, right?
And they had like 4 singers and a lead singer. And the whole crowd sang. We're over 100.
It was very choral in feeling.
We were blessed tremendously. So nobody should have any entitlement sense. So a young man says, I've gone to school. And I like that, and I like to serve.
I mean, this us putting ourselves in the person's shoes now, for instance.
Wait now, I'm coming now.
Okay.
Because no only instrumentalists.
Okay.
So, and I like to get paid so that I can serve in this place. He has a right to determine what he wants to do.
Okay.
And quite frankly, I'd rather him get paid and give his entire best.
And give his full.
His entire best.
He can resume at it. He can grow at it.
So there are other things he can even do other than just playing an instrument.
Of course.
He can write songs. He can score songs.
And he can enrich the church.
He can train people. He can do all kinds of things.
Talking about writing songs. I mean, the guys that work in Elevation Church, for instance, in America, they are full-timers. And if they are full-timers, they cannot just sing during the meetings. They have to channel their energy into other things. That's why many of them are good sound engineers. They know how to write songs.
Yeah.
So today, we say in our church that we sing songs that have been written in our church.
Yeah.
And it sparks an awkwardness in the room.
The only reason why we're able to say that is because we are full-time.
Because we're full-timers. We've been doing this. We've been giving a lot of our energy.
Even full-time is relative.
Although we're working, we're doing job.
No. When I say full-time, I don't mean because someone is full-time.
No, of course. I mean,
when we say full-time, we mean that we are doing this most of our time.
So if I'm doing Christian ministry, worship leading, pastoring as full-time, what am I going to be doing in all the spare time that I have when I'm not preaching? So that's why I've committed myself to writing songs, producing songs.
That's the debate.
You know what I'm saying?
That's debate for many churches.
Yes.
Like, you say we should give you money. You just come. Sometimes you even come very late to the meeting. Then on some days you say you're not available when we need you.
No, but I don't agree because it's the communication. You didn't employ him as a full-timer.
So that's the thing. Again, even when you employ as even if it's part-time, in the time that you're supposed to come around, there's always one story or the other.
I mean, but it's not everybody that does that though. So
so that's what I'm saying. So sometimes.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not for or against.
Okay.
But let me be sincere with you.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say it, and I hope that you can verify what I'm about to say. There's no serious Christian work that has lasted the last generation that has been done without somebody getting paid to do it full time.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. This is not to displace the role of volunteering, but what we're just saying is that some of the progress that we are aspiring to see is not on the side of something done.
Particularly,
it's not even part time.
It's not funny.
On leisure basis.
It's not funny. We pride ourselves as a country with the most vibrant church
on earth.
Yet our validation about ministry still comes from America.
The songs we sing mostly still come
our
from
songs still come from America. Funding for a lot of activity in Nigeria and it still comes from America.
That means we're not asking the right questions.
So that's why it's subjective. It's not a question of to pay or not to pay. It's the thinking. I'll give you an example. I'm a pastor. I'm being careful.
Okay.
Not to ruffle certain feathers.
Yes.
But for me, that question about people paying to come into, which is what led to all this conversation.
Yeah.
To come for a gospel music concert. It's not a question to be asked. If you can,
it is sincerity to be had.
That sense that I cannot be blessed because I paid is more of your problem.
Thank you, sir.
So you don't pass on to anybody else.
And to add to that,
because I go on vacation and I pay and have a great time.
To add to that, being a practitioner, I'm going to say this with every sense of sincerity. To add to what you've been saying, I think how you view the person who's hosting the concert too matters.
Yeah, exactly.
But for a believer who does not even feel any responsibility whatsoever towards his local church pastor, that conversation is going to be hard. I think, first of all, we must deal first with the mindset a average believer has towards those who minister unto them.
First of all, we have to
because I think I've seen that is a trend and it's a trap we too almost fell into.
Yeah.
over the years,
Yeah.
not we go to meetings every week. Somebody has prepared a sermon. Somebody has prepared songs to bless us. Don't even more to even prepare slides, prepare drama. And we feel no obligation whatsoever towards those people.
Because we have given an offering and have given a tithe.
So that's why we can have the guts to be talking about whether to pay missions or not. You come in, you dance, you worship, you cry. Somebody has given a lot of time. It's not a matter of whether you want to go and learn it in music school. It's a matter of what Paul is saying, that you have an obligation towards those who minister unto you. If we clear that or do, so that in my monthly earnings, my pastor, the man who prays with me, who preaches to me, who prays for me, who counsels with me, on my wedding he was there, naming ceremony he was there. I am supposed to prepare an obligatory support for him. If I scale that or do, it will not be a challenge.
You see, it's that entitlement sense too that has permeated the minds of many people who expect everything to be given to them for free. I'll give you an example. The same people that will go and pay money at a secular concert have a problem paying. You don't begin to ask yourself, is this valuable for you? No. That's the question you have to ask.
You have touched another area.
Is this value for you?
And value is on both ends.
Yeah.
The confidence of the person creating the art of music to charge. Does he think he's delivering that much value?
That's exactly.
And on the other side, the value on the person, on the end of the person who's also receiving.
Does he think he's getting value by showing up in this place?
Or is he coming to come and show support or encourage? Even show support self gone, you have to pay something now.
But you see, when people showing up alone, they give you that.
I came to help you.
To help you. So, but then again, too, it is whose challenge is it to change the narrative? It's a challenge of church leadership.
I agree with you.
Of one of which I am. I cannot deny.
I agree with you.
We have the challenge to take on. Why? I say why because look at our society, for example. We have entered into a capitalist driven setting where the people that are running our society right now have the orientation that we must pay top dollar for everything that we get.
It has benefits. For instance,
yes, it has benefits.
Look at the electric cars that begin to flood our markets now.
See,
electric bikes.
I'm saying this because
CNG. Did you ever imagine that the day will come when Nigerians will be rushing to convert their cars to CNG to use gas?
Let me. I don't want to use the word. Okay, I'm going to say. I said I don't want to use something, but I'm going to say it. I'm not a boss bubble. 10, 20 years from now, you will not be able to organize a concert and disturb anybody next door.
Yeah, because the way it's going. Yeah,
I say 10 years, even though it might happen earlier than that.
Yeah.
What it means is that to organize a concert, you're going to have to get specialized rooms, specialized spaces.
Yes.
For that purpose.
Yes.
You cannot get specialized spaces for free.
It's not going to come for free.
And if it's not going to be for free, if you continue to say, hey, you know what, I'll get people to raise money to, it will continue. But at some point, things is going to happen. Some other persons are going to rise up, are going to deliver very high quality experiences and charge for it. And you, who want to deliver for free, are going to start looking funny.
Because people are going to actually not pay for your own, but go and pay in that other place.
And they're going to start looking funny. In fact, it's going to get to a point, and it's not a prophecy, it's going to happen. People are going to start seeing free events as inferior.
Wow, I mean, I think we said a lot today. It's been a very, very great time of conversation, of gisting about the gospel.
Yeah, about life around
the gospel. I mean, and that's what this show is about. Having this back and forth and being able to establish a good sense of judgment regarding the gospel, how it is preached, how it is delivered, who are the people that are preaching it, and all. And I really hope it's happening that every time it's getting to the end of the show, I'm always having this really like, you know, last show, enthus. Now it's really. Anyway, I was joking. I think you must have had a great time watching us.
I hope that you can leave a comment, even if you don't agree with what you're saying. Leave a comment. Actually, I'm more interested in hearing from those who don't agree with what we're saying than those who say, "Oh yes, nice." Because let me tell you the truth, which is the last thing I'm going to say. We have a organized faith that does not encourage a lot of
Conversation.
People are talking, but you see the way people are talking, people are more agitated.
It happens because they don't feel like they're going to be heard, they don't feel like there's going to be a chance, a forum.
And if there were more opportunities to talk, we can influence ourselves. We can come to common grounds about many things.
Yeah.
And not have to be exploding online.
I agree with you.
And not have to be agitated. We can control the conversation.
I agree with you.
It doesn't have to start somewhere and they will now start saying, and let's even talk about this. No, we can actually determine how the conversations go. And that way, people that look at our faith can be more endeared towards it. Yeah.
So please subscribe to get notifications when we release our new videos.
Yeah.
My name is John Kenny.
My name is Taiwo Oyemade.
God bless you. I'm going to see you next time.
Bye-bye.